What's the word, Ham Fam? Yeah, I said I was gonna do a video, just talking about what uh what all went on and how I ended up in Michigan. Now that that's the new state that I'm in. Like how did I end up in Michigan? What led me here? And you know, things of that nature. Just letting y'all know a little bit more about me. Well, long story short, I've been on the south side of Chicago all my life. Never really lived nowhere else. I mean, we moved to the suburbs. My dad moved us to the suburbs in 2001, but I was a knucklehead little teenager, so I would always take the bus back to the hood and be with the guys, be on the block, go to granny crib, check on my grannies. If anybody know me personally, they know that my grandmas, they basically raised me because I had young parents. So I was really like real close to my grannies and stuff like that. So, you know, things like that. The typical, stuff in Chicago. You guilty by association. So this how I go in Chicago. If you from that neighborhood, you could not even be really in the mix. If they see you walking from that way all the time, they see you shaking your homie hand because your mamas know each other. Y'all cool because y'all mamas be kicking it. Y'all grew up together, but you on a total different time. He probably been in the streets, probably had a pack since he was 12. They'll shoot you to get at him. So it's kind of like damn if you do, damn if you don't, Chicago. And that's kind of like why it is like it is now, because everybody want to be known for being that man. But back in the day, it was, he was known for certain stuff. I had homies that was known for getting all the women. I had homies that was known for trapping. I had homies that was known for getting on bullshit, fighting. I had homies that they weren't gonna fight, they was gonna shoot. Now it's like it's all mashed up together and there's too many personalities together. And that's why it's like it is at all these states. It ain't just Chicago. But long story short, I had a real close homie. We ended up, he was my little brother homie. And I basically like brought him in as a little brother. Really, all my little brother homies, I brought them in as little brothers and family because it was like me and my mom. My mom made me and my brother do everything together. We was 4 years apart, so we basically know each other's homies. Our homies is each other's homies. So, but his homies always looked at more like little brothers because it was guys in my neighborhood that was making little shorties do all type of shit that they really didn't have to do or didn't need to be exposed to, you know, at the time. So I figured I'd just cuff up my little group of little younger guys that look up to me and put them on like real righteous stuff. Even if I was doing it, I didn't really want them to do it, but they'll see me doing it and I tell them why they shouldn't do it. I wouldn't really give them all the good. I give them the bad too. So long story short, one of our homies, Envy, you know what I'm saying? He known as Top Hat right now. He a manager. He moved out. His mom moved out here when they graduated. No, when they went to 8th grade, and he didn't want to do 8th grade in a new state in Michigan, and he had already been in Chicago all his life at that time. And, we was all kicking it hard, and we had plans low key for that 8th grade year for them. I was going into my senior year because I was 4 years older than them. So at this time, his mom had hollered at my dad, and all our parents close because we all went to grammar school together. Our grammar school was like a village. You know what I'm saying? Everybody grandmas knew each other. Everybody parents. I'll go into that another video. But long story short, they all struck up a deal, and bro stayed with us his whole last year in Chicago. He stayed with his old man too, but the school was closer to us and where we was at in the neighborhood. So we would always, his mom would always let us come during spring break after they moved, Christmas break, summer break sometimes. We'd just go to Michigan just to get another vibe and get out of Chicago and see different shit. And the train rides along would always be peaceful to me. So as a shorty, it was just a getaway. It was something different. I like seeing different stuff. We would go to Mississippi. We would go to Florida at the time. Sometimes we went to Louisiana. But we had never really went nowhere other than Ohio and Indiana that was in the Midwest. So going to Michigan was love, and then I always was a U of M fan because of Charles Woodson and so on. You know what I'm saying? So we fast forward to bro in high school now. He meeting homies up here. We coming up here. They throwing parties. We getting close, and they starting to become, like fam too. Shout out to them. They already know. That's how we called each other fam. That was what we was calling each other, and that was our little group of you know, it was just us, bro. It was like really 8 of us at the most. We was always together, rocking around, and basically, bro just brought out here what we was doing in Chicago, and it was, and I liked it. I liked it. The scenery out here was just more peaceful, you know. Not to say don't shit go on out here, Everybody got their dark side. Every city, every town got its dark side. Ain't no more Mayberries, especially now. But it was just more manageable to me. You know what I'm saying? I had got burnt out on a lot of shit being in Chicago, bro. Like, if you a real street nigga and you really in that shit and you around all that shit all the time, bro, anybody that's a real human, you going to get burnt out at some point, bro. You're going to need to clear your mind at some point. Or you're going to end up crashing out like a lot of them do. And that's why you see a lot of shit that's going on. So, I just like always was appreciative of the fact that, bro, mama moved at the time when she did because the city was doing a U-turn. Because the city was structured. There was a lot more put together. Wasn't a lot of miscellaneous casualty stuff going on around like 03, 04. It started like turning back up a little bit because certain people didn't feel like when certain people got out, they got locked up. Did they little 10 years in the feds, they got out and they was trying to take over again. They was executing them. So it was a lot of that going back and forth. And, Chicago always been a hub for bullshit, bro. They let everything in Chicago. Guns, drugs, whatever you looking for. It's going to be in Chicago. And I love that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love that shit for years, bro. I was in that shit and didn't see myself getting out of it until I started, like, experiencing deaths in my family. Like, my grandma died. The one I was, like, was always with all the time. Always taught me everything. We stayed together for, like, her last 6 years of her life. I'm the one found her dead. So I always told myself when grandma died, I'm gone. Because that was the only reason why I always would come back from Michigan. I'd be like, I got to check on Granny, see how she doing. Make sure she's straight. Because she just loved to hear from me and see my face because she felt like I was the only person that really, made sure she was straight like that. Because we had a bond since I was a little kid. So once she passed, I told myself I was going to leave. My dad talked me in the stand. Me and my brother, we get an apartment together. Fast forward, I meet my lady. First time I met her, I told her, I'm like, I'm going to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason why I didn't go is because I got talked down from my pops not to go because he wanted everybody to be together because he had just lost his mom, and I felt him. So I told her when I first met her, she wasn't fucking around. She laughed. And then I think we was about 2 or 3 years into our relationship, and I brought it up again, like, yeah, I want to go because I feel like when I was here, I always got more bang for my buck. I always was making more money here. I always was more peaceful here. And I just like the scenery, bro. It's like a change of scenery. It's not a big city. But if you want the big city, you can just take a 20-minute drive and then you right in the big city. Or you can take your 20-minute drive and then you right back in the woods. Like, I grew up by the Forest Preserve, you know what I'm saying, off of 83rd and Ashland. If everybody know, ever been on the south side. So I'm used to seeing trees and, a little bit of wildlife. So when I see stuff like that, it reminds me of that. And going back and forth to Mississippi to see my people down south. So it was kind of like a up north Mississippi. That's what I always compared it to. The way the houses is made and everything. So I'll say 2000, fast forward to COVID. I was working, before COVID happened, I was working at the Field Museum. Happy as I had ever been, thought I was going to retire at the Field Museum, bro. Because I love that job. That was like my best job I ever had in Chicago, was the Field Museum. I had like slowed down on the streets a little bit. and was like really trying to get a real job because I only had, let me see, when I was in Chicago, I had a janitor job, security job. I had 4 jobs, bro. By the time I was like 35, I only had 4 jobs in Chicago. So that's just what type of time it was. Like, you really didn't even, you could work in the streets, and it was like 3 or 4 jobs you could do in the streets, you know what I'm saying? When it was really cracking like it was. It's a little different now, you know. But yeah. But that shit crazy though, bro. Like, if you really don't want to work, you ain't gotta work. But it ain't like it is no more. Like, everybody hip, too many cameras, can't really get the money like you want to no more. So I start seeing that. Then it was too many killings that made it hot. Then they killed the 9-year-old little boy in the neighborhood. So that really made me like move around. The police just started looking at everybody different in the neighborhood, you know. And that's another story. But yeah, I just was straight, bro. And then COVID happened. They sent everybody home, put everybody in the crib. It just made it made me think, bro. All I could do was think and just, you know, trace back over stuff in my life and think about my granny and think about stuff that made me happy. Think about the times I was at the most peace, because COVID was a real stressful time in a lot of people's life. You know, if your mental wasn't right during COVID, it really made it shine more. It made it, you know, stand out more that your mental wasn't together. So while all that's going on, 2021, when COVID like uplifting a little bit, my old man just passed out of nowhere, bro. Just one sick, was getting dialysis because he had pneumonia and didn't really take care of it at first. So he was just getting his kidneys flushed every once in a while. But he wasn't sick or nothing like that to a point where we thought he would just pass away one day. So once that happened, I'm already heavy into thinking and manifesting and finding God and being real spiritual and just doing a lot of soul searching. And then my dad passed, and then it's like, man, that was the only reason why I was still in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Because on his side of the family, it wasn't that many of them. All of them passed now. My great grandma, my auntie, my grandma, my dad. And it's just me, my brother. My dad had 2 more kids, and my auntie had 2 kids. So I got 2 cousins that's older. They like, you know what I'm saying? They really was like aunties and uncles. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely still got them, but we not really like close like we used to. We used to get together every holiday. It'd be somebody's house, we pack deep. I knew I was going to get some lemon meringue pie. I knew I was going to get some red velvet cake from auntie. You know, that type of stuff. When you don't got those memories, when you have those memories and you don't get that no more, and you still in that city and you just steady getting all the bad, you know what I'm saying? You steady having all this bad stuff going on. You like, man, I'm steady calling, bro. He like, yeah, man, we got to get you out of there, bro. Because I keep it a buck, boy. During that time after my grandma passed and I didn't leave right away from Chicago, I was depressed as shit, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was working at FedEx, was fucking around, going back and forth to the area, still moving and grooving. During the day, going to work at FedEx at night. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot going on, bro. Horrible relationships, horrible women. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot going on around that time, bro. And I'd just be calling bro, and he'd be like, man, you already know, you used to always say Michigan was your piece. So it took me a little minute to come to the realization to even want to leave Chicago, because I'm so Chicago, bro. Like, my neighborhood, I got my neighborhood on my arm. I know a lot of people don't really know that. You know, I don't really get all off into that. You might see me, you know, represent a little bit, but I don't gangbang as much and try to act like I'm just super tough. But a nigga been there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just really just happy. You know what I'm saying? Able to buy all these guns that I got. Able to, you know what I'm saying, express myself and be transparent with a lot of people that might be going through the same things I'm going through, that don't want to leave their neighborhood or don't want to leave the guys. That shit take a lot. Like, when them really your homies like that, and you really like even if you're not in the hood no more, you still in Chicago where you could swoop down on the guys, bro. You know what I'm saying? And your family, the little family I did have left, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, you really don't know who gonna miss you until you leave that motherfucker though. But yeah, man, it was hard, bro. It was a conflict. And then I had to get my lady in tune and try to get her to come with me. Yeah, so it took a lot. So once I got everything in my mindset, I just really just told her like, man, we gotta go. And then I knew like, man, the government had gave us that money, bro. Them stiflings, bro. I don't know. I don't know if y'all. I was big into like U.S. history when I was in grammar school. Big on watching like documentaries and stuff back in the day. That was when I had first really started getting into weed. So I was sitting down for a long time. Back in the day when I was a little kid. But not really a little kid, but like a preteen. But yeah. I had a teacher named Reverend Hill. He made it cool. I had another history teacher in high school. I can't remember her name, man. That's crazy, bro. She was my teacher my freshman year, but anyway, at Bogan. But yeah. And I just always paid attention. Like when the government give you something, bro, they're gonna want their money back. They might not get it back right away. They might not bill you for it, but they're gonna get it back. They might put it in the taxes. They might up the stuff that we buy a lot. They might up that price and that stuff. And it might not even be going to the people that's making it. It might be going to the middleman, the people that's allowing them to sell it in the store and stuff like that, which is the government. You know what I'm saying? So I already knew they was gonna have a price hike. And Chicago already a high state. I mean, Illinois is a high state. Chicago is a high city. It's gonna cost a lot. It's like the third or the second highest next to New York and California. So it's gonna always be high. And then now they're adding the extra because they gave us some money, which they could have really kept if they was gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, I knew that was gonna happen. My grandma always told me like she is a big on following her first mind. She felt like that was God talking to her when her first mind come. Whatever her first thought was, if it was something righteous, and it wasn't nothing like you reaching and doing something that you usually don't do, that's God talking to you, bro, telling you that's what you need to do. So when I started following my first mind, bro, and started listening to shit and making like paying attention to signs and around me and not being focused on the wrong stuff, I started understanding stuff a little more, and it was time to relocate. So once I got her in the groove, I brought her up here. She saw the scenery. She saw how nice the people was. She saw everything that I was talking about, and she saw that it was real. She saw how much shit costs, and that was really the big breaker for her. And then she saw how plentiful the jobs was here. It was a lot of jobs that was ready to. We had jobs before we moved to this month. We had jobs before we even got our crib. You know what I'm saying? So this a hustling city, bro, and we come from a hustling city too. So because Detroit, Chicago is cousins. Everybody got some family that's up here, or vice versa. Everybody up here got some family that's where we at in Chicago, bro. Like, and I always just felt like this was a second home. And once I got here, it was, man, I was in motion. It was rolling. So, and I ain't looked back. And yeah, that's how I ended up here, man. If it wasn't for bro mama moving here, and she started her own business, and I saw how fast she elevated. Within a year or two, she had her own crib. She went from a condo right to a house, and all of it was new, all of it was nice, all of it was affordable. Taxes wasn't too high. It was just too much. It was too good to be true, bro. You know? So, but yeah, that's how I ended up a Michiganer. That's what they call them up here. I'm a Michiganer now. I've been here since 2000 and the end of 2021, to be honest. So let's see. It'll done to be 2 years in December. Exactly 2 years. December 27th. So, yep. And I don't think I'm gonna go back to Chicago. Only way I go back to Chicago is if they start giving out free land like they supposed to or something, bro. But that'll never happen. Or they just lower the rates on stuff there, man. But everybody I bring here is from Chicago. They look around, they be like, man, bro, you made a smart move, cause it's just different. And ain't nothing perfect, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about what you can withstand, what you can withhold. So, but yeah, I ain't want to talk your ear off too much. I just want to let y'all know how I ended up in Michigan, being a Illinois resident for 30 plus years. But yeah, man, thanks a lot for tuning in. Just something to let y'all know a little bit more about me, man. Nothing major. I'm gonna start, just going off into a little more personal stuff. I'm really like a closed off guy unless you know me personally. But I'll start letting y'all know a little stuff, man. I ain't really into that life no more, so I can, what I'm saying, let people in a little more. But thanks for watching. You know what I'm saying? I got more stuff coming, man. Got more gun purchases coming in the year 2023. I think I got, man, gang just made me count the other day. I think I got like, man, 9, maybe 11 gun purchases this year. I think I'm gonna end with like maybe 2 or 3 more. And then I'm chilling out next year. I might give me some other stuff, man. But the guns, I'm probably gonna chill out because I think I got everything I want, bro. I ain't trying to stunt or, I'm very humble, but I think I don't got room for nothing else. So, yep. Salute and stay down. Much love.